Welcome to Journey Through the Gate, your paranormal portal podcast, as we delve into the many questions and wonders brought on by the supernatural experience. What's on the other side of the gate? Let's find out together. Hello, my wonderful listeners. Let me introduce to you somebody who's so near and dear to my heart. He is a good friend, and he is a spiritual warrior, he's a demonologist, he is a reverend, he is my pathway to the light in so many ways, and so many other people too. My friend Bill Bean, welcome in.
Thank you so much, Cisco. It's so great to be back with you. It's been way too long.
I know.
I want to thank everybody out there for tuning in as well. And
Absolutely.
I've been looking forward to being back with you.
I'd like to say thank you, sweetheart, for being here. You see, he's so busy right now, and we can't imagine why with the world in the shape it's in right now. But, hello to everybody in the chat. We only have Bill for an hour, so please forgive me if I don't get to say hi to everybody. But my wonderful mods, Patriot, Jackie, Sue, Christina Bell, Grey Wolf, Uncommon Belief, thank you so much for being here. Everybody loved the cover art for tonight, Bill, and I wanted to bring that up because it shows a young man in obvious turmoil, and he's on his knees, he's crouched down in he's covering his face, and he's holding up the Bible, and so many shadows are grabbing for him, but they can't get in because he's covered in that light. Bill, you were there.
Yeah, and that was perfect. When you sent that to me, I got chills. It was like, that is, you hit it right on the head there. It's perfect.
Thank you, sweetie.
And you're right. I have been there, and I know what it's like to suffer. And I just thank God and praise God for not only saving me, but for helping to transform me from victim to victor.
So important. So important. Now, for the chat, yes, Davy Jones, I'm definitely bringing up Purge. Absolutely. Just got it in my hot little hands about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I feel so bad about that because I wanted to send that to you weeks ago.
No, sweetie, it's fine. So everything happens when it's supposed to happen, and I'll read it, and we'll have you back on, and we'll talk about that because this chat loves you.
I appreciate it.
Oh,
I love them
anything
as well.
for you. Anything for you.
Thank
Ask
you.
anybody. They'll call me. When we go through our filters and everything, we have people that call us for help or direction, more than anything, lost in this darkness, and they just want to see a beam of light. And, once you get talking to them, and I know it's one of those cases, I said, Bill Beam, I have no other answer. You go to Bill.
Thank you for that, sweetheart.
You go straight to Bill. I mean, the thing is I thank you for that, Bill, because I have somebody I can send them to. There are other people we have to go through, it might be cases, it might be mental illness, it might be so many things, addictions or whatever,
Sure.
And we have people that sort that. But if you've got a case that is demonic and evil or a negative entity that's got that kind of power, it's taken over someone, you need God. You need the right tool for the job. I say it 1,000 times. You don't try to fix a car with an egg beater.
Mm-mm.
And so many people tiptoe around it. And when you're dealing with something that evil, you need the ultimate good. So tell us, Bill, how you found that faith. When everybody who has heard of Bill, you might have seen him in his story on A Haunting. I believe it's House of the Dead, yeah?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And when I first saw Bill was when he was talking on that show, and they told the story of you had all this turmoil in the house, and you had just had enough, and you took the holy water and you just commanded, and the faith. I stood up in my living room. I'm like, yes, that's it. It's that faith. It's that,
Well, praise God for it, Cisco. And I'll tell you, I suffered for so long. I was 4 years old when I moved into that house with my family, and the first experience I had was a demonic physical demonic attack at age 5. That's where it began. So I had suffered for many years, and my mother suffered far greater
Your
than
poor
I.
mama.
Yeah, she suffered more than any other person I've ever seen in my life. And so all of the years of abuse and torment, it just culminated by the year 1979. I was 13 years old then. And we had a priest involved in the home. My family and I are not Catholic, but my step grandfather was, and he went to his church and told them what was taking place, and they sent a priest out. He was involved for the last 16 months that we lived there. And it had gotten to the point to where he was bringing mason jars full of holy water to my mother, saying, throw it here when you see it, or here, or if something's attacking you, whatever. But by 1979, I was just, and this took place after my mother was physically attacked. An invisible force picked her up from the back of her neck and threw her through the air. She was thrown across the room, landed into her makeup table. She was cut open. She was scratched. She was bruised. And something inside of me snapped. All those years of being victimized and tormented. And then, my mother suffering in this way, and something just snapped. And I grabbed the Bible and a jar of that holy water. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't even, my family believed in God, but we had never attended church as children, never baptized. So I never read the Bible. I didn't have a clue. But what I did have was blind faith in God. And so I started to, and this took place after having a lengthy discussion with my uncle Clifford, who was a devout Christian. And he shared with me that we could take power and authority over these things by the mighty power of God in Jesus' name. And so that's what I did on this day. Now, I made mistakes, and where I made my mistakes, I should have been binding and rebuking and casting them out, but I demanded them to show themselves. And as I was doing that, I was fierce. Now at this time I'm 13 years old, and I was just so angry and just so fed up and just driven and fierce at that time. And so I just was going through the house, and 5 adults were with me. My mother had just been attacked. She had a new man in her life at that time. He had been attacked many times in the house as well. My grandmother was present. My aunt was present, and her boyfriend was present. So it was me and the 5 adults, and they were absolutely terrified as I was going through the house, commanding and demanding these things to show themselves. And at one point, the house began to shake. It was like a scene from a horror film. The house began to shake, and things were falling off the walls. Doors were slamming. My sister's door, the back bedroom door, was slamming and shut, open and shut for many repetitions at a time. And then at one point in the living room, with the 5 adults behind me in the dining room, these entities manifested, and they manifested in greenish, yellowish beams of light. And the first one, had a black suit on, black hair, black beard, chalky white skin, black eyes. The second one, same thing, chalky white skin with red curly type of hair, long scar down the side, left side of his face. The third entity was a female in a black gown with long dark hair, chalky white skin, looked like a witch, sharp facial features. And then the fourth entity is what we call the dark force entity, which was a black form, looked like a black hooded entity, a form with glowing red eyes. So we saw them clearly for several seconds, and then they just dissipated. They didn't just suddenly vanish. They dissipated. And as they were dissipating, all the chaotic things that were taking place in the house suddenly stopped. And we ended up leaving that. It was late in the afternoon. We ended up leaving that afternoon and went over to my mother's fiance's house and stayed there for a couple of days. And that was the beginning of the end. We ended up leaving in December of 1980. But Cisco, looking back on that, it's just unfathomable that we were able to deal with so much abuse and torment over that time period. So we moved in there in 1970. And we left in December of 1980. So to endure all those years of abuse. Again, just absolutely unfathomable.
People wonder how, Bill, because it happens. It's a slow boiling of a
Yeah.
frog. And Bill will tell you that that's it. It's slow, it's subtle, and
Yeah.
builds and builds and builds. And Bill and his family went through horrors. Now you can see that it's in Dark Force, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
I've
book
written
Dark
two
Force.
two
Here's
books. Yeah,
some
the
of the
original
books.
Dark Force, and then the
There it
Dark
is
Force
right there.
Revisited. Yeah, and then Dark Force Revisited. So
Mm-hmm.
Purge is my ninth book, but these two
This
books
one.
talk about the family story and the things that took place there, things that I wouldn't wish
There
on
it is.
anybody. Yeah, that's Dark Force Revisited. I wrote
That's one
that.
of my favorite, the 10 steps to
Oh
victory.
yeah, and I
Yeah.
included that
Yeah.
in the Purge book now, so that's in there
Right.
as well. So I have step by step instruction and direction for people
This is
in the
just a
Purge book.
scene from the show
Yeah,
A Haunting. So if you
yeah,
want to hear the whole thing, they did it. Bill and I can tell you with TV and producers and stuff,
yeah.
they kind of did, but they did the story fairly well, as much as they could put in it.
And I'm thankful to
Yeah.
New Dominion Pictures.
Yeah.
Tricia Dozier is a very good friend of mine, and I was in that initial episode, which aired September 7th, 2006. It's still being shown to this day,
It
and
is.
that's
Yeah.
what put me on the map as far as
Right.
being known and the story being known. And I did a recent shoot with them, which is going to air probably in early November. I've been involved in 9 or 10 other episodes on that series based on my case files. And I have a new one coming out. Again, it looks like it's probably going to be sometime in November. Next time I come back, I'll let you know the exact date.
Please
And
do.
yeah, and I've done a couple other shoots as well that are going to be coming out after the first of the year.
Right.
But again, this story was so tragic as well
It
because
is.
neither of my parents lived to see the age of 50, and they were married in 1956. My sister was born in 1957. There was another child born, a male child born in 1963, died under mysterious circumstances. I never could get to the bottom of exactly what took place. I do know that representatives from Johns Hopkins Hospital came and retrieved the body for studies.
That's not normal.
No,
That doesn't happen. No.
no.
Mm-mm.
And I was born in 1966, and my brother was born in 69. Not long after moving into the house, my parents were both social drinkers, and back then they would have these house parties and family gatherings and all that stuff. Not long after moving into the house, I believe that, and my dad wouldn't talk about it, but my father was a very rugged individual and was a man's man, and he wouldn't talk about stuff like that.
Right.
But I believe he was under attack from the very beginning. And this led to an increase in his drinking, which eventually turned into a raging alcoholic.
Violent, yep.
Regularly physically abused my mother on a regular basis, I'm sorry to say, and I have forgiven my father for these things. But it was hell, just that in itself was hellish. But I have no doubt, Cisco, knowing what I know now and based on what I saw then as a child, I have no doubt that the demonic entities that were present, were able to fuel my father's rage and anger towards my mother while he was under the influence of alcohol. It's a miracle that he didn't kill her, and there were times that he nearly killed her.
It is, and I'm shaking my head like this, chat, so much. And thank you, chat, for dropping all of Bill's links and everything else. I really appreciate it. We have the best mods here, Bill. We really do.
You guys are awesome. Thank you.
You can get all of his books on the billbean.com as well. They get them from him, But the thing is the same thing happened to my family.
Yeah.
So as I'm reading your book, I'm going, yes, I see that. I see my dad was the same way. You didn't talk about it. We couldn't sit around the table and compare notes. We couldn't even talk about it, and his alcoholism got worse. His violence got worse. His attacks got worse. I think the same thing happened to him where it finds that crack, and it just pushes on it. Now, everything Bill went through, I mean, the whole gauntlet from, each individual person in the house getting attacked, animals getting driven crazy and attacked, horrible things they went through for a long time. But the point was that Bill stood up He, out of anger, out of blind faith, like you said, out of
Yeah.
seeing, in God. And it worked and gave you guys a break enough to at least escape through that. But it wasn't an easy path for you either, and neither for me. We both had our wild side, didn't we, Bill?
Oh, absolutely. And
Yep.
and I after we left that house, two tragedies occurred within 2 months and 2 days of each other. My beloved grandmother, Dora Harvey, died from a sudden series
Yeah.
of heart
There we go.
attacks. And then 2 months and 2 days later, my beloved mother, Patricia Bean, died from a cerebral hemorrhage. My grandmother was 64, my mother was 44. And they were the two closest people to me in my life because my dad had left us in 1975 and he had moved to Florida. And then my mother came under a regular physical attack from those demonic entities up until the time of her death. And so I have no doubt that those entities had a hand in both of the deaths. Just you could set the physical attacks aside and just say, from the level of
Yeah.
stress and torment and pressure, constant pressure that we were under, it was just, believe me, we could sit here all night and talk
Yeah.
about the things that had taken place. But if for those of you out there, I highly recommend that you get a copy of the book if you want to know, the inner details of what happened. But after we left the house in December of 1980, those tragedies took place, and then I was a young kid. I had to lie about my age. I quit school in the 8th grade. I went to work for a construction company. And suddenly I was working around hardcore men. Here I was a skinny kid. And that turned me into a hardcore man that made a
Yep.
lot of bad choices and decisions. I grew up on the streets after that. I used drugs. I drank. I was violent. And I hung out with the worst of the worst people. Most of those people are dead or in prison. I could have very easily have been there myself. And through it all, God was there with me, even through all of that, because I've been in many life-threatening situations over the years, and God saved my life every time. I didn't understand it then, but I fully understand it now. The devil was trying to kill me and get me out of this world before I could be in this position that I'm in now, by the power of God working through me as a spiritual warrior to help people. So the devil did not want that, and God protected me from death every single time in order for me to be in this position.
Isn't it amazing? And I feel like a lot of us, there's a lot of people in this chat that feel the same way. We're born to be here right now to
Yeah.
try to keep putting this light out to the world. And
Yes.
that's it right there. The faith of the 13-year-old boy who grabbed the holy water and just started commanding. Keep in mind, chat, he said he had 5 adults following behind him.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's that faith. I've seen it in my sons. When it was happening in my house, I was 3. So I saw it. I have memories, but I had enough memories to fuel my journey ahead. It didn't keep me out of the bad like you. I learned from being there.
Yeah. Yeah.
If like they say, if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger, at
Makes
least
you
wiser.
stronger.
Bad
Yeah.
choices, make good judgment.
Exactly right. And we've all
Later
been
on,
there.
we have, and
There's not anyone that could say they've had a perfect life or they
Nope.
haven't done anything wrong. That's a lie. We
Yep.
all make mistakes, even to this day. If I do something that I feel is not pleasing to God, I will get on my knees, confess it before Him, ask Him to forgive me, and a blessing always follows.
There you go. And that's the thing. So we're definitely saying we've both come out of this kind of turmoil and seen what evil can do.
Yeah.
Even, just wearing a person down. I thought it was important to mention too in your story that later on in years you found out that it was possible that someone in your family early on had maybe conjured these things up and now they were kind of almost following your bloodline, so to speak.
Yeah, and I really believe that's what happened. I was told that by a family member, and it could have been as far back as 100 years ago.
Right.
These family members, according to what I was told, had conjured these demonic forces, and they came, and the door was open to them, and they came in, and then brought, just like you said, like a family bloodline curse on the family, and a variety of horrible things happened on both sides. My dad's side and my mother's side, and it just continued. And so many tragedies throughout the years to family members on both sides.
And you can just
Just
see it working its way through.
incredible.
It's
Yeah.
tentacles of evil and darkness. And I sit here night after night and I tell people I call them cracks in your windshield.
Yeah.
Basically, it's just your aura, your protective field, that you're in charge of. I mean, we have free will. If you don't if you don't feed that goodness and that light and that good positive energy through prayer and, getting your faith grounded,
Yeah.
you start having these, and it seeps in the cracks. I mean, it could be as quick as, just losing your temper at somebody, or it could be something that eats away at you, like my father and
Yeah.
Bill's father. They were good men that
Yes.
just kept getting pushed and probably didn't understand. And you deal with this all the time, Bill. People that just don't understand, how did I get here?
Yeah, and that's the
How did I
key to
get
the
here?
whole thing is being wise, having wisdom, and
Mm-hmm.
knowing what the devil's attack plan is.
Right.
And all life operates on frequency and vibration. So when God, Yahweh, spoke the world into existence, he used his voice through
Mm-hmm.
frequency and vibration. He spoke everything into existence. So the world operates and all life operates on frequency and vibration. So if our frequency and vibration is on high, life is good, life is positive, we're moving forward. But if it's on low, life is horrible. It is a challenge, to say the least. It's like the person has a black cloud over their head. Nothing ever goes right. There's always a problem, a situation, a drama, and never an answer. And so I deal with people like this every day. And I'm thankful to God, because I'll tell you, Cisco, I couldn't be in this position had I not been there. So it was necessary,
Absolutely.
in order for me to be where I'm at now, to experience all those things. It was all part of my journey. So do I wish I could change some things? Of course, especially
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to the suffering of my mother, but I
Absolutely.
can't change that. So what I could do now is thank God and praise God for getting me through it all, and
Mm-hmm.
for having me to be in this position now to help people and to help them realize what's going on and why these things are happening. So the devil has a playbook,
Mm-hmm.
and right on page one is divide and conquer. So
Divide
his
and conquer.
bully tactics,
Mm-hmm.
divide and conquer, and he does this through fear.
Yep.
So all these different types of supernatural things will take place because the devil is trying to establish fear in those that are experiencing whatever I call them parlor tricks,
Mm-hmm.
whatever he may be doing.
Mm-hmm.
That is putting a person in a state of fear and
Mm-hmm.
confusion. And boy, that's lowering the frequency and vibration. And that gives
Absolutely.
him carte blanche to send his demons in to attack from every angle.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if they see a little crack in the door, they're going to kick it in. And when they
Mm-hmm.
come in, boy, oh boy,
Mm-hmm.
they are going to do anything and everything, because it is all about killing, robbing, and destroying
Mm-hmm.
mankind.
Making you question yourself, that you're no good,
Yeah.
worthless, you
Yes.
can't get anything right, even if it's just that playing on.
I
Back when
agree.
I was a child, there used to be these cartoons where you'd see a little angel on one shoulder and a devil on the other.
Yes.
And so true that is, because you've got that whispering in your ear, that whispering, that constant. They have all the time in the world,
Yeah.
chat, to spend all that time telling you this. You have to believe in yourself, or even, enough to look up and say, God, I need help through this. I need help. Take this
Yes.
off of me. Get this, shut this voice. I do it all the time. Shut this, and every time shuts it off, makes it stop, rebukes it
I
every
agree,
time.
Cisco. And that's where that's why I'm so glad that you like the 10 Steps to Victory book. And if you
It's
like that
good.
book, you're going to
Yeah.
love this new book, Purge,
Right.
because I give step by step instruction and have all the information there to make a person
Absolutely
armed
true.
and dangerous against the devil and his demons when these types of things take place.
Mm-hmm.
That is the time to draw as close to God as possible and
Yep.
invoke the power of God through the prayers that I have put into this book. They
Yep.
work, they are effective, because anytime that we are connecting with God in a real and authentic way,
Mm-hmm.
He's going to hear us and He is going to be with us. So the closer we draw to Him, the closer He will draw to us. And then
Absolutely.
we can invoke His power over our lives and take power and authority over the devil and his demons, binding and rebuking them and keeping our foot on top of them every single day.
Every single day. And once they know you know that, and you're convicted in that faith of, like I said, the 12-year-old boy with the holy water, or my son when he after Columbine, I mean, they did this all in secret. He was 8. This will tell you what kind of mama he had, Bill. He was 8, and you as a parent, you're thinking, I can't promise him he's going to be safe. Do you not send him to school? What do you do? I mean, there's so much goes through, Well, he went to school, and he had from his Sunday school class, he had a Jesus coin, and he had some anointing oil. And he put it on the bottom of his shoes, and he put it on his backpack, and he put a cross on the bus as he got on, and on his seat all day long with this bottle, with a little bit of oil and this Jesus coin. He would touch it until by the time he got to homeroom, he said he had a line of 4 kids deep waiting for them to get holy oil put on their shoes and bless their backpack and
Isn't that amazing?
Desk. 8 years old. If he did it today, he'd probably be thrown out.
God bless him for allowing God to work through him to be a minister like that at age 8, and then to have those kids line up and wanting to receive that as well. So,
and so many want that. So many want that, though. And it all depends. I think when there's an act of love like that, God sees it and brings others just to the, good is drawn to the light too,
I agree, Cisco.
And it's just light to light. And that's what we try to do here on the show. I wish that we could go through the whole gauntlet of everything, but I'd love to read just a couple sentences from the new book, Purge, if you don't mind. Because it goes with, it caught my eye, and I have to read it because this is exactly the message I wanted to put out tonight.
Praise God.
And this is in Purge. And it's the first thing that jumped out. So here's our message for tonight, chat. It's my strong belief that the root cause of most problems is spiritual in some way. All of us are in a type of spiritual warfare daily, and many don't even realize it. I believe that just as God has angels assigned to us, the devil assigns demons as well. They look for the slightest openings to launch their covert attack. How many times can you recall having a bad situation in your life that just continued to get worse and worse? That's Bill Bean from the new book, Purge. That's exactly what we're saying.
Yeah.
It was almost like it was meant to be, huh, Bill?
Well, the whole book is just amazing. And with all of my books, God will put something on me like it's time to do this, and then he'll give me an idea of what I'm to write about. Sometimes he'll give me a picture, he'll give me the whole cover in my head, and he did it this time as well. And this whole purge concept started out as I thought, okay, I've done this before in the past with other tours around America and churches and venues, and I thought, okay, I'm going to do this again, but then the COVID garbage started up again really bad, and I had to shelve the plans for travel to these different places.
Right.
And then I felt like God was putting it on me to write this purge book. And I sat down and I just let God be God. And I saw the whole cover. And an amazing thing about this, Kev Baker, who is my co-host.
Tell Kev I said hi.
Oh, I will. He's
great
going
show.
through a bad time right now.
Great show.
Cisco.
Prayers
he's
to
got
him.
COVID, and he's not
Prayers,
doing
Kev.
too well. Thank you for that. But he actually designed that cover. Now, here's the amazing thing. God put that image in my head of what that cover was supposed to look like. I said something to Kev about, I'm going to work on this book, and could he design a cover for me? And he did, without me expressing to him what the vision was that God put in my head. And I'm telling you, this is amazing. He nailed it so close to what that vision was that I saw in my head from God. Again, it was just uncanny. I couldn't believe that he did that. So God bless him. And yes, he's going through a rough time right now. And thank you for your prayers, and we'll continue to pray for him.
Absolutely. Everybody in the chat, put Kev Baker in your prayers, please. He's suffering with COVID. He has a great show he does with Bill, and that's the Kev Baker Show. And Bill also has a YouTube channel. This man, I catch him all the time up at 3 o'clock in the morning doing prayer chain and prayer requests and stuff like that. You never stop, Bill.
No.
And that's the thing. Why? this is why. Because right now, I talked to Bill, years ago, and I said, Bill, I feel like there's a black fog crawling over the world. What's going on? And he said, because there is, Cisco.
Yeah, it's
And
true.
it's gotten darker, thicker. It's gotten more ground. And the only thing that slows it is the light of God. And everybody in this chat that understands this, all the prayers are up for Kev. Say one for the world too. There's so many people out there suffering and in fear and feeling alone. And like you just said with the COVID lockdowns and things like that, Satan doesn't want us conversing. Satan doesn't want us fellowshipping. Satan doesn't want us hugging each other and being with our loved ones. So you find a way to break through that. Don't just sit there and say, I can't. You find a way. Find a way to reach out, have a show, mod on a show, read the book, pass it along to a friend,
and
get
it's all
purged.
about coming together. It really is. And everything you're saying is absolutely right. And again, this goes back to what we said at the start of the show, these divide and conquer tactics. So you create all these scenarios to separate the people. And then, you're weakening people when they're separated, and then the conquering part comes in. So we need to stick together, and we need to come back together. One nation under God, I pray the entire world under God. And if we could do that, then suddenly everything would change so quickly. But everybody is so divided in so many different ways. And so the devil is having a belly laugh.
Well, the devil is confusion and chaos. God is not chaos. God is not chaos. The devil is chaos. So anytime you start feeling, absolutely. So anytime you're in that or you see that, I saw a video, and I don't know when it happened, the past couple of weeks. A lady was being robbed. Did you see this, Bill? How many have we seen videos of people, bad things happening? We've all seen them.
Yeah.
This lady is obviously like in a 7-Eleven, convenience store. They come in to rob her, and she stood there like this, and she said, by the power of Jesus, I rebuke you. You get out of my store. They were so confused, they turned around and they left.
Praise God. And see, we can invoke God's power over us and over our lives, especially in crisis situations. So it is paramount now. It is of the utmost importance for you all to draw as close to God as you possibly can, and he will draw that close to you as well. It's the only way now. I'm telling you, we are in a time to where it probably won't be too much longer that they will try and silence people like us, because they do not want people bringing people together, and they certainly don't want people invoking the power of God. So, and
or
that's
loving
okay
each other.
Too. Yeah, and I don't want anybody to be worried about this, because if we could keep our faith strong, and if we could keep our frequency and vibration on high, then God will have a covering over us, just like he did for Daniel in the lion's den. So don't worry about anything. Make your main goal and objective to come back to God and be as close to him as possible, and allow his son, Yeshua Jesus the Christ, to guide you on that narrow path back to him. This is the only way. And I just pray that for those of you that are involved in this show right now, if you never believed a word I said, or you never listened to anything that I've ever said, or took it to heart, take this to heart.
Take this one.
Yes, because this is the most important thing, is to come back to God.
Absolutely. And like I said, we've only got, Bill, for a few more minutes. So if you don't mind, Bill, I have something I think you're going to understand why I'm doing this. In chat, most of you people are going to understand when I say, if you think that black fog of evil isn't crawling over this land, if you think it's not in your children's schools, if it's not on your television, in the movies, in the music, everywhere. And I don't mean, like the old days where they said if you play it backwards for this and that and everything. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking it's a vibration. It is a vibration. There's like from MK Ultra on. Yeah. And
you're making no bones about it.
It's called programming for a reason. And it's in your face, Bill. So tell me this. I got this little video. You want to see how bad it is right in your face, chat? You want to talk about the Olympics? You want to talk about the ceremonies for that, the halftime shows where they're literally having, I think, satanic rituals right in
You're
front of
correct.
us.
So I agree
Right in front of
100%.
us.
Yeah,
Right?
it's in plain sight.
What the heck is going on here? Look at this mess. Hold on one second. Look, take a look at this. This is CERN.
Yeah.
This is an opening ceremony. I won't play it because I
Out through
swear there's
tunnel, yeah.
frequencies in here.
Oh, yeah.
Look at this mess. Does this look like art to you? Look at this.
This is a satanic ritual
You bet it is.
ceremony that
Right
is
in front of your face, opening a
in
portal.
plain sight, correct. And the CERN,
Look at this.
the CERN
Look at that.
headquarters is located above the bottomless pit that is mentioned in the Bible. So it is all strategically and perfectly placed, just
Look
as
at this
satanic ritual is.
Look at this mess.
And Cisco, did you, and I'm sure you know this as well,
Go ahead.
the CERN logo features 3 interlocking 6s.
Yep. And so does Chrome.
Yeah, it's right there. Exactly right. Google Chrome. That's exactly right.
And that's a 666 right on top of each other. Look at that
Locked
logo.
right
Everything is in your face.
It is
and
in plain
people
sight.
ask, what about free will? Aren't you supposed to have to invite them in, Bill? Aren't you supposed to have to conjure or something else?
No.
No, not really.
And I'll tell you why. Because
Yep.
the devil is mentioned as the prince and the power of the air, which means the airwaves. So these demons can literally travel through portals that come through the TV sets, the computers, the phones, anything like that. And so we have to be very, very careful because the devil operates on legal rights. And he can go to God and say, I could be in this person's life because of this and this and this, and God will allow it because of free will. That's why the devil exists in the first place. He's the adversary to mankind because of mankind's free will.
And there you go. So the thing is all of these portals are opening up. They're definitely doing all kind of satanic rituals right in front of us, right in front of our faces.
Yeah.
And, you know, they're programming the children at a younger age.
Yes.
They've got Satanism now at their PowerPoint meetings in the military.
Correct.
Did you see that one?
I did see that. Yeah.
Did you see that? Yeah. I mean, this is seeped into every crack possible. And we kind of let it go by, you know, making excuses for it. Oh, that's not so bad, or that's just art and self-expression and things like that. They're doing satanic rituals at the Grammys, people.
It's been going on. This has been going on since the 50s. This attack was launched since the mid 1950s. And we are where we are today as a result of those programs that were implemented back then. And now it has come to fruition pretty much full circle now to where it is in your face, blatantly wide open. And those who stand up for God, for good, for right, are vilified. And those that embrace evil and chaos are uplifted and they're celebrated. So this is where we are now. God is allowing this to happen for a reason. And that reason is free will. God wants to see who is going to freely choose to come back to him and stand for him. And boy, oh boy, and I don't wish this on anybody. I wish the whole world would suddenly realize that our glorious God is the only way that we can make it through this, and his son, Yahshua Jesus the Christ. I wish they would realize that, but so many people are under a spirit of rebellion. And that spirit of rebellion has just absolutely gone throughout the world, especially in America. And so you have this level of selfishness like I've never seen. I'm 55 years old. I've never seen what I'm seeing now with this spirit of rebellion and selfishness. And our young people, you're exactly right, Cisco. Most of them, not all, most are absolutely brainwashed. They are taken over by this spirit of rebellion and this spirit of selfishness. And they could watch somebody drop dead right in front of them, and they would step right over top of them to go about whatever it is that they're doing.
You've turned them into psychopaths.
Yeah.
You know, that just don't have this. And you can't even have a conversation. It's just no, 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 no. It's just this, you can see it. And it's almost like all of this demonic has just found a home in so many
Yeah.
places, and root more and root more. And like I said, the only way to lift yourself above that is stay in high vibration. Get your connection to God, keep it there, be faithful,
Yes.
rebuke it anytime you start getting it starts getting to you. Just remember who you are. You're a child of God.
Yeah.
And it gets you right back where you need to be again.
And in the Purge book, I have 7 declarations in there that so people see that, and so I have a step by step for people to apply this to their life every day. So even as busy as I am, and where you said you used to see me up at 3, well, now I'm up till 6.
Oh,
And I mean, there's times I'm having sessions via Skype, Zoom, or phone or whatever at 4 or 5 in the morning with people from all over the world.
See,
and
I told you he was busy, folks.
It's
I meant
unbelievable.
It. Yeah,
it really is. And so even with that, I don't care how tired I am. When I wrap up the day at 6 a.m., I say a spiritual warfare prayer, which is in the Purge book, and I say a daily victory prayer, which is also in the book. I say that I don't care how tired I am. That is a part of my life. I say it without fail. Every single day of my life. I have been doing so probably for the last 20 years or better, and will continue to do so for the rest of my life. And then when I wake up in the morning, the first thing that I do when I open my eyes is I thank God and praise God for the day. Life is a gift. We are not promised tomorrow. So we should be thankful to God for each and every day. And for those of you who think that God doesn't work miracles, I beg to differ.
I beg to differ.
When we open our eyes, he's working a miracle of life for us every single day.
Every single day. And I've seen miracles right before my eyes. And, and so has Bill. Bill had an angel come pretty much to protect you when you were in that house as a young boy. And I know you've seen them since. I know I have.
Yeah, many times.
Absolutely, I have. And when mine came and knew everything, and the feeling of warmth and love, and just that, believe me, you can tell when evil's present. You can tell when good is present too.
No question about it.
Absolutely
it's two totally different feelings.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so that is something else as well. When you draw close to God, and the closer that you draw to God, you are going to have your spiritual discernment increased. And like Cisco just said, you will see and feel a distinct difference between God's divine and the devil's evil. And that comes through holy discernment.
Yep. And you're also going to feel something else. A lot of people, like Bill was saying and walking around right now, it's like they really can't help it. They've been so programmed, MK altered, and we're not joking.
No,
this
true.
program has been going on for a while. There's more portals opening up. There's more walk-in free. There's more conjuring because they think it's cool and fun. And, I mean, for Pete's sakes, it wasn't, 20 years ago, 15 years ago, they came out with the Barbie Ouija board for the little girls. So at the Toys R Us, can you believe this, folks? It's been infiltrated in every way.
The devil has the market cornered, that's for sure. And that goes for the high religious places. That goes for the political arena. That goes for the entertainment industry, music industry, sports, Hollywood. The devil has it all cornered.
All of it.
And I'm sorry to say that 99.9% of those people are sold out, because you cannot be in those high places unless you're selling out to the NWO beast Illuminati system. You just can't.
Yeah, well, that goes for SOULED too. Sold.
Yeah. Sold
That's
what
out.
I mean. Yeah, sold out. They're sold out.
And that's why I said you're going to see certain people that just almost seem empty. You know why they are. Yeah, they are. And
we could list quite a few examples of these highly publicized figures that we see all the time that have black eyes and are completely sold out.
Absolutely, honey. Evil is walking among us. And, the cool part about it is to know that we're walking too, and our light is a lot stronger. And we just have to keep that light going and build the books. I mean, I know you didn't come here tonight to sell books, but I have to. If you are in need of something to hold in your hand where everything is right there, your spiritual warfare prayer, your the steps to victory.
Yeah.
All of that is right there. When you need affirmation in your life, it's right there. And Bill, also the YouTube channel, multiple times you come in there during the week, and like
Yeah.
I said, you do a prayer right there for people, so you
Absolutely.
can do it in a group where everybody in that's listening is in agreement, which makes it even bigger and multiplies it. These are things that we can do, even if you're shut in right now, or if you're in Australia. I have a lot of listeners in Australia.
Hmm.
They're, major lockdowns.
Yeah. God
And
bless you,
yeah,
Australia.
and you just feel so oppressed. Do not feel that way. That's where you get up and you find you. Do something that makes you happy. Do something a high vibration. Dance your kitchen barefoot. Sing.
Something. Yeah.
Lift it. You have to do it. You can't be. You can't because that's letting them win. Do not
And that's
give it
what
to
they
them.
want. They want
Yes.
people to be so
No
beaten
fear.
down that they're beaten down into submission,
Right.
and they'll just lay down and go along with anything, and then they got them. And so, what Cisco is saying is absolutely right. And if we can start our day out with God and invoke His power over us, again, that's raising our frequency and vibration. And look, it won't be easy. Nothing in life is easy. However, it will be manageable, and you'll be able to navigate through all the daily minefields by invoking the power of God over your life.
Absolutely true. And I don't know what else to tell you guys. I mean, that's the thing. There's no the quick fix is knowing where your toolbox is and what tools to use.
Yeah.
And having a full toolbox. So that's it, but you have them too. You have your free will. You have your will to get up and sing that day or cry.
Yeah.
You can do something. I mean, we fed birds. We, attended to nature, stewardship
I
that
love
way,
that.
checked
Yeah.
on neighbors,
Love
fed
it.
my whole house now is filled with animals. I mean, in the backyard. But you know what? It sings. My whole yard sings,
You're
and the
blessed
sun.
and you're a blessing.
Absolute. You just find a way to put it out there. You don't have to be, a gloomy Gus. I mean, I don't get in arguments with my neighbors when they say crazy things. I mean,
Yeah.
this one lady blurted out something, and I just stopped for a second, and just God gave me some. I said, well, God is in control. I'm sure He'll sort it out, but we got to help Him along the way.
That
And I
was the
think
perfect thing to say.
and I walked away, and I left her with that. And she just stunned with her jaw hanging out. She didn't know what to say. So zing them with truth. Zing them with, God's love, your
Yes.
love,
Yes.
over and above it, and walk away. They might not be able to be saved, but you can't let them take you with them.
Exactly right. And I always say, if you can't be a blessing to somebody, well, then you can't absorb their darkness. And so I know in my life, I pray every single day that God works for me to be a blessing to somebody. That's what I set out to do every day of my life. Unfortunately, there are people out there who are so consumed with darkness and negativity that they set out to create problems for people on a daily basis, and the devil will work through those types of people. They are putty in his hands, and he will cause a variety of damage from people like that. So all we can do is pray for people like that, and Cisco had the absolute correct approach in disarming that woman that was really trying to start something with her. That is the best way to handle it. When we're always bringing God into it, for myself, I always want to see myself with a shield in this hand and a sword in that hand, in each and every day of my life.
The armor of God.
Yes. And if I'm committed to God, then I'm committed to excellence. And if I'm committed to excellence, then I refuse to lose. Doesn't mean my life is perfect. I have a set of issues and challenges just like everybody else. But
me
what
too.
it does mean is when those issues and challenges come along, God will make a way. God makes the impossible possible. So we have to hold our end up, and our end is to have stronger than steel, real and authentic faith in Him. And then on His end, He will honor that and have favor on us and bless us to overcome any obstacle that comes in our path.
That's absolutely true. And you have to believe in yourself too. And if you can't, you get down that low, that's when you say it, God lift me up.
Yeah.
There's been many a day, Bill and I have seen real unconditional love goodness, the love and light of God. We have seen real evil, the opposite of that. Okay?
Absolutely.
And we've seen all the stuff in between. We've lost loved ones to evil. However long it took for it to to ruin that person. We've seen that. We've lost friends. He goes at, I don't know how many miles to save a stranger who's being oppressed.
All over America. I've been all over America many times and helped people in 50 other countries as well. So it's just, when I look back on these things, Cisco, it's mind-boggling because from where I was to where I'm at now, I'm so far removed from that. It's like it happened to somebody else. And that's what God does. So when he brings about a transformation in that way, it's just mind-boggling. And when you have moments of reflection, and you look back on some things, you go, wow, I can't believe that actually happened. And I went through that, and I can't believe where I am now. How God, and even in this journey now, as a spiritual warrior, I have been in many life-threatening situations. I have performed deliverances and exorcisms over people that wanted to do great harm to me, and people that handed me their guns because they wanted to shoot me, or tried to stab me, tried to slash me. They've tried to bite me. They have spit on me. You name it. It has happened, and God has kept me safe through all of it. And I thank God and praise God for that.
Well, me too, Bill. And I can't tell you how much I love you and how much this chat loves you, and that you got to spend this time with us. I'm about to lose you here in 4 minutes. So, mods, please drop his links to his YouTube channel. I'm telling you, if you want to pick me up, you can go in there and watch his videos. There's prayer in all of them. There's love in all of them. There's answers to questions that you have in all of them. Bill has been around, and, he's got a beautiful website. Every book is beautiful. You just keep getting better, each one you go. We started out, but if you line them all up, darling, you know what you've done. You started out with darkness.
Yeah.
And we're ending in the light, baby.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
We're ending in the light. Right. And the covers and everything just went from this to just light. It's just beautiful. And that's what we all need to do on our path.
Yes.
If you were in the darkness, I promise you there's light. I say it all the time. One pinpoint of light will, open a darkened room. So no matter how dark it gets, just look up. And if you're in need of some guidance, there's not a better spiritual warrior out there for God. I'm just so glad to know you, darling.
For it. You're family to me.
I know.
And you always be family to me, and anything that I can ever do for you, you better believe I'll be there.
Well, you just did it. I think you've really helped this chat out a lot tonight. And people that listen, this goes out and out and out and keeps going. So
and I want
those
people
who need
to know
to hear
also, Cisco, that if you're out there and you're in this chat right now, yes, it's great if you can afford to buy my book. Wonderful, and thank you very much. But if you can't, and you're having a really difficult financial time, then send me an email, and I will send you a free PDF copy, because it's that important for you to read this and take this in. So don't let money stop you from contacting me to get a copy of this book.
See there? Bill's the real deal. And I thank you so much, my friend. I can't, it's been hard trying to get you on here because you're so busy.
I'm sorry for that.
No, we always understand. Absolutely understand, because it's such a busy time. You need about 5,000 more of you, maybe half a million, right? But luckily we do have people that are carrying the light and won't let anybody put it out, Bill. And I think you talked to some of them tonight, and I'll tell you what, like I said, maybe somebody that needs to hear it down the line will, and we'll help them find the light too.
I pray that, and I can't wait for the next time. We'll set a date for my return, and then we'll dig into purge some more, and also some of these other topics, like the Mandela effect and CERN and the D-Wave computers, how this all works hand in hand with each other to have this darkness on the world right now. This was all very calculated and clever plan.
Yes.
And it's not going to work.
Yeah, all of it.
God has an answer for all of this.
Yes. God's going to win.
And the devil is going to be defeated, and all this garbage is going to be defeated with him. And then we will have some peace and order returning to the earth. And we praise God for that.
And I think it's up to us, though, to keep the word out there and keep the love out there and keep the light burning. You know, like I say all the time, you know, God can save the world, but you got to want it. You know, he needs us to help. You know what I mean? You know,
agree 100%.
And that happens, you know, when you're not thinking about it at any moment of any day, on any given day, you know, and sometimes all day long. So we got to be strong, and we need things like this to refuel us. And I thank you so much, my brother, for being here with us tonight.
Love you dearly. Can't wait to come back.
Okay.
And love and God bless everybody out there. Thank you for tuning in. And until the next time, God bless all of you.
God bless you, darling. I can't believe we did it in an hour, my love.
That's hard to believe.
I love you, baby.
Love you, sweetie.
Bye-bye, honey.
You.
God bless
Bye-bye.
you, darling. Well, there you go. There you go. Well, how about that? That's my brother. Absolutely love Bill. And anytime somebody really needs huge, you know, help, that's Big Bill Bean right there. If you see him, I can't even put into words when you see him go at it. It's just like there's nothing else going on. He is so focused, and he's an amazing human being. And I wanted him to tell you a little bit about the beginning. So I'm going to just, one more time for anybody who doesn't know. A Haunting, you can get it. Daily Motion, I think, has it. I don't think YouTube has it. Some of the other channels have it. But you can usually watch it for free. It's called House of the Dead. And it's got Bill's whole story in there, but there's a lot left out. You know, they left out a lot of stuff that happened to the pets. Now, we get desensitized when we say stuff like that. You know, things happen to the pets. Well, I had Evil kill a couple of my pets, right? And even as much as I talk about this stuff and I come on here and I keep telling you, I'm not an expert. I don't have all the answers. When it's happening to you, you still are going through the motions. You're not 100% what's going on. So it's hard to focus and figure it out. You have to go through your daily motions. I mean, you're going to work and you're coming back. You know, your pet's sick, you take it to the vet. They can't figure out what's going on, you know, and it keeps getting worse. And then other things are happening before you know it. You start to realize. And luckily, I was able to figure that out before it went through the next one. You know, as far as the pet being attacked or being slowly killed. And I can't tell you how many times I've had people in homes and they have a sick person who keeps getting worse and worse and worse. And we tell them this negative entity is sucking the life out of this person. You've got to, you know, this is your home. You have to take charge. You have to take control. You have to, you know, rebuke this shit, you know? In no uncertain terms, it has to go, you know? So it takes a little bit. That's why I keep doing shows like this to let you know. We had a couple people in chat. I understand that, you know, if your light is somewhere else and your source and, you know, your name might be different. You might say creator or you might say this or that. All that's fine. We're not trying to divide anybody here. I'm saying that when you're dealing with 100% evil demonic force, you better have the right tool, and the right tool for that is God. It's the only thing that's going to beat it. Some things will, you know, back it off, and it's going to come back stronger. All of that's true. You know, I can tell you right now, I love Confucius. I love the things that he said. I read Sun Tzu. I've got, you know, Buddhas in my backyard because I think they're cute, and I rub their tummy, and, you know, I grow plants around them, and I love them. But, you know, unless I'm going to pick up the Buddha, bless it, and chuck it at a demon, it's not going to do anything to stop a demon. Okay? Now, there might be other things in other cultures that they have that, but for here now, the stuff that we're talking about, CERN, HARP, the frequencies, the programming, infiltration of every media, the news, the shows. If you don't think Satan's got control, take a look at the top 15 Netflix things that are coming out right now. You know, hey, I like a good ghost movie next as as anybody else, but there's got to be a reason. There's like what, 5, 7 Saws. What's going on in somebody's head that can sit and watch somebody's skin getting peeled off and not have a reaction to that? Really, as Sue says, really though, how many purges are there? How many Saws? What do you think is going on? If you believe that there is a collective around a drum circle of a bunch of people doing a drum circle and everybody's singing and the vibration is high and everybody's dancing and hugging and loving each other, that's a beautiful wave of love light coming out of that drum circle. They might call it something different. They might say that, oh, we're just here singing and having a bonfire, but it's a gathering in love, right? And you have a gathering in love at a local church, whether it's Southern Baptist or whatever. You have a group getting together, having a picnic and having a gathering and saying a prayer or the Pledge of Allegiance or singing a song and hugging each other. That's love, right? Any kind of gathering like that. What do you think the kind of energy that's coming off a theater full of people watching Saw? Who do you think's getting fed right then? You think we're feeding angels? Do you think we're feeding the good side, and putting love light out there? Or is it creating fear? Is it creating loosh for unseen things to feed on? I don't know about you, but I don't want to feed something I can't see. That's living off of my fear, off of my worry, my depression, my grief. I don't want to feed none of that. Right? So let it starve. Smile. Sing. You all love Steve, right? Steve Stockton has a story about seeing 2 black-eyed children. Who knows, right? I haven't seen them. I don't disbelieve in them. Because I believe there's a lot of evil out there, and there's a lot of evil forms, and then there's stuff that looks evil that might not be evil. It might just be funny looking, and out of place. I don't know. But like I said, you can feel evil. You can feel negative. We have people that are negative that we work with that suck the energy out of us because there are always little black clouds going around. Just meh, 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 meh. Am I right? I didn't smoke in front of Bill because he'd have kicked my ass. That's just the truth. He's bigger than me. And I love him. So the thing is, we've got that worker. Well, that's an energy vampire, right, Sue? An energy vampire. Jackie, you know what I'm talking about, right? Patriot. And they just suck the energy out of you. Well, are they evil? No, but they're stuck in a low vibrational vibration. That's where they stay. They stay low, slow and low. Little black puffy clouds. Those people can be saved. Yeah, psychic vamps, yep. They can be saved because they're just stuck in the darkness. Reach in and pull them out, little at a time with light if you have the time. If you don't, then just stay away from so it doesn't get on you. You can't save everybody all, you know what I mean? You have to pick and choose. Let's not get crazy here. I have it all the time. I tell people all the time, you cannot control what other people do. Right? You can control how you react to it. How it affects you. We all lose it. We all lose it. I tried to not have road rage. I drive in Jersey. Thank you. And I just started saying, well, bless you then. Or that old Southern thing, bless her heart. That's kind of a way of saying what you is kind of passive aggressive, I guess. But at least you're not getting yourself in that lower vibration all the way, where you have to pull yourself back up, or you have to, spend so much time grounded. So those are the things that I have for you guys, my lovely listeners, my wonderful chat, my fantastic mods and friends. Is for the past week, I've been trying to concentrate on what can we do to pull ourselves out? What can we do to ground? Okay? We had gemstones, and we've got the beautiful metaphysical gifts of the earth, right? With their properties, right? We've had, we talked about fire gazing and the cleansing showers. We've talked about hugging trees and imagining all the negativity going down into the ground, barefoot's best. And then pulling that good stuff back up out of the earth and refilling ourselves and refilling our light, right? Every one of us has a way we rejuvenate that light, through prayer, through song, worship. I know lots of Buddhists, I know Wiccans, I know pagans, I know this, I know that. But what we are up against right now, folks, is true evil. True evil. The real deal. The real thing. If you don't believe me, take one more look at this. Look at this. This is in your face. It went on for hours. Do you see what's in the circle there? Let's go start again. Here we go. This is an opening. Sue can tell more about CERN than I've forgotten. Believe me. She's amazing on this subject. But look at this. This is, I promise you, a satanic ritual in your face. Right up front. This went on for hours. It went on from these methodical, robotic-looking prison worker something to this nasty fallen angel thing with all of these, I don't know what the hell they were, monster things. And this goat man is just skipping through them, and then this fallen angel comes and everybody's happy, and then they open up the big hole portal, and there we go. I don't know how many of you saw this. Go back and look at the Olympics. Was it 2014? They acted out the whole COVID mess in 2014. How could that possibly be? How could they know it was coming? I don't have an answer for that, do you? 2014 Olympics. Look up the ceremony. Nurses and babies in incubators, and everybody's wearing a mask, and big needles dancing around for the shot and all this kind of stuff. I can't imagine. 2014. Somebody explain that to me. How's that possible? Maybe they're all psychic. And they just had a feeling and thought that they would celebrate it at the Olympics. That's probably it. That's probably just coincidence. Coincidence theory. Seems odd, doesn't it? 2014. They're doing a big song and dance, complete with huge, I would say, 10-story, easy. Grim Reaper, dancing among the people wearing the masks. Weird. And they're opening CERN. Read up on CERN and see what you think. Yep. Oh, there's another one. Bill Cooper. Look up Behold a Pale Horse. He knew then. Jim Mars knew. God rest his soul. I hope he's helping us from the other side. We could use you, Jim Mars. We could use Bill Cooper. Maybe in here there's another Bill Cooper. Maybe in here there's the person that's going to get, people in their neighborhood calm down, or people at their job calm down. And tell them there's an answer. God isn't chaos. God isn't chaos. Where was chat? Sue, do you know where the Olympics were in 2014? Let Donnie know. Laura's saying must have been a coincidence. Yeah, for all those coincidence theorists out there. Yep, Laura knows. Yep, this chat knows. That's for sure. But people might be listening. Oh, Sochi. S-O, here, let me put that up. Sochi. So Bill apologized he could only be here for the hour. And I said, let's do it, Bill. You know, I got to work in the morning too, and I just wanted to jump in here and give you guys a quick show. I didn't want to lose the chance to get to talk to him. He will be back. We'll talk more about the demonology that he does and things like that. He's very private about the cases because rarely are they not ongoing, if you know what I mean, because the people sometimes call it back or get caught back down into their routine again, and you know, then he's got to do it again. It's yeah, it's rough. So yep, there it is. You can look at that up and watch that and tell me what you think about that Olympic show. That was true. But see, the thing is that they've been doing it all along. If you hadn't seen Katy Perry doing it on the Grammy stage, an award show, how many of those have you seen? Where you go, did I just watch a satanic ritual? Yeah, you did. On live TV. Yes, you did. And we could get a whole lot deeper in that, but you know, it's getting bad, folks. So I just wanted to give you this. Purge is an excellent book. I just got the PDF. I've gone through the things that he's telling us about. It's all about spiritual warfare, spiritual attack, how to recognize it, how to, you know, and what to do to go up against it and get it off of you. Like I said, sometimes a lot of times it comes little dribs and drabs. And if you think about it, so does the Ouija board. You know, we've talked about that on this show so many times, and so many times about all these other things. It doesn't mean I'd never use another Ouija board, but I'm going to go in with protection, and I'm going to leave with protection. You know, it's not something I do all the time. And I certainly wouldn't. But I don't believe that people who don't know anything that they're doing, whether they're conjuring something or doing a love spell that you're just not sure about it, but you paid the lady $15, so it's got to be good, right? You know, and you know, there's things where I've seen where you just click on them and there's chanting in there. My God, there's snakes in the Vatican. You know? There are snakes in the Vatican. What does that mean? You know? And how many layers does what I say, you know, have? Multiple. Multiple. In every meaning of the word. You know? Yeah. It's one giant snake head. Absolutely true, pseudonym. Absolutely true. I've seen it. So, what do you do when they've infiltrated your kids' schools? You know, your college, your job, your corporate job, your television, your radio, your car radio, some of your friends. What do? Stop and regroup. Stop and regroup. It's like a good soldier would. Stop, you reassess your situation, and you go, what? What can they take from me? What do you have that's yours? First and foremost, your soul, your life, your free will, your intent. Those you have. That you have. Your family, your children are precious. Your elders are precious. You're precious. Handle with care. Because there's a lot of bad out there. But it only takes a little good to stand up. And it goes screaming back to hell. So stand. Stand for yourself first. You know, and know what you're standing on. And know what you're standing for. I hope you understand. I love you very much. And if you're still here with me, I know you understand. But that's the whole reason I do this show. Because they've taken everything, including the paranormal, supernatural, and turned it to the ugliest. And there's a lot of ugly in it, but there's a lot of good too. There's a lot of good too. And they tend to forget about that. My son walking around today, absolute miracle. Got the medical files to prove it. Got the x-rays, doctor's signatures. Doctors, multiple faces on doctors who look at the x-rays and go, I can't find anything. I can't find out how that happened. How did it happen? I know. Somebody felt like that person needed to go on and do something. And then that person goes on and says, what am I supposed to do with my life? I said, be a decent human being. Just be a decent human being. Be the best you can be. You know? Put love out into the world. So that's what we're trying to do. Put some love, put some hope. Donnie, I met Bill when I saw a haunting years ago. And before I had this show, I had another got defunct, so I just started my own, and that's why this looks like it's new, but I've been doing this a while, and I've been involved with radio shows and things like that. But when I saw a haunting, and I saw a 12-year-old boy stand up with a jar of holy water and take on evil that the adults in the house had no idea how to deal with, he knew. And I was like that when I was young, you know, and I had to go through my hard stuff, you know, to get tough. Now I'm a fighter. Now I'm a warrior. You know, I'm a winter soldier. I kick back when times get tough and go, oh man, it's going to be a humdinger. You know? You know that old saying, when the tough get tough. There's stuff that breaks me, man. I got to tell you, there's been some gut crushing times. Hardest thing I ever had to do was walk into that ICU unit. And I say, Jesus, you got to move my foot. I can't move it. One step. Okay, thanks. The other one, please. Until I was walking. But I wasn't walking in that room alone. And I knew he'd catch us either way. I've lost children. I've buried loved ones, multiple. Lost brothers, firefights, and good people. And you wonder why. You know, why that one? And I'll tell you what. We're never going to get those answers. And you start thinking like that, you drag yourself down till you start spinning that drain. I say we go the other way. Keep on going, baby, and gain momentum. Lift that spirit high, and we'll lift each other. So I'm going to keep bringing you shows. I've got Rob Guttrose coming in. He's an animal communicator and fantastic medium. And he also happens to work, he's a weatherman for NASA. So he's a scientist too. Very interesting. Love him. He's got some of the best insight on communication with ghosts and animals that I've ever seen in my life. Mark Nesbitt is coming on to talk about paranormal crime scene investigation, solving murder crimes through the victim's ghost. Oh my God. I love it. So he's coming on. All of this is going to be a packed October. And I'm going to announce right now, Laura, you with me? Laura and I are the only ones in here who know this. So I'm going to tell you now. Yesterday, I got, and I can't tell you all of it. Laura, don't you spill the beans. Don't say nothing. But she's going to keep a secret. We can't tell you everything, but we can tell you this. October 31st falls on a Sunday night. Our regular time, we would do our shows 8 p.m., right? On a Sunday night. October 31st. Meant to be, I think. So what we're going to do is we are going to have a Halloween costume call-in paranormal roundtable. Happy birthday, Steve Stockton. All Hallows Eve ghostly gathering. What do you think? Steve Stockton's birthday is Halloween. And he is up in Portland, and they are in kind of tight lockdown. So we are going to celebrate with Mr. Stockton. We are going to have some surprise guests. If you guys want to call in, what I'm going to do is give you the link, and we can have pop-in calls. You can wish Steve a happy birthday. And we're going to do costumes. So if you want to come in and be on video, we'll do that. And you can show off your costume and your your lovely stuff. And there's a cost, though. If you come in, no, I'm not going to charge you money. Oh, there will be snacks. There will be alcohol, adult beverages, if you so please. But you have to bring them because it's a video call in, guys, and so you have to have your stuff with you. BYOB. Okay, so that's the good news. You can have whatever you want, you just have to bring it. We'll all celebrate together. I'm going to see if I can get at least a cupcake or something delivered to Steve. He's out in the middle of nowhere, so I'm trying to get him something delivered there, a cake or a cupcake or something. We can sing him happy birthday. But Steve likes old nostalgia. So we are going to do from the year he was born. We're going to do all kind of Halloween commercials from that year. Maybe some old cartoons. We're going to do some old silly Halloween songs that came out around that time. It was 63, so we're good. They're kind of great. I mean, I love them. You got some of the old, the Toys R Us Halloween stuff didn't start yet, but some of the other things did, so it's kind of cool. So we're collecting up those, but here's the cost. You don't have to wear a costume, and you don't have to show your face. You can always do the icon, so for camera shy people that want to keep your identity, that's fine. You can put up an icon if you'd like. But if you're going to call in, you got to give a quick ghost story, spooky story, or experience that happened to you. We want to try to keep them quick, unless you're going to be one of the people on the round table that were signing up for that night to kind of stay through the whole 2 hours. I think Sir Brian Bowden might be one of those who's coming in to stay. So it's in the works, but this is set up to where even if you're going out with a family or something, grab your phone, follow the link, call in, tell him happy birthday, tell us a ghost story, and you go on with your night and see the rest later if you want. You don't have to be in the chat the whole time or anything. So yes, the Dancing Skeletons. I was actually recording that one last night for that. Yeah, the Dancing Skeletons, and we got a couple people working on that. Oh gosh, Sue and Patriot are bringing absinthe. All hell's gonna break loose. That's what we're trying to prevent, Sue. We're going the other way tonight. See, it didn't take this chat long to wind up back there, did it? Oh God, that's so funny. There we go. We were going up the drain. Now we're back down the drain again. Whoa. It's so funny. All right, I won't be doing absinthe, but I'll probably have some Mrs. McGee's apple pie moonshine with let me tell you something. If you're going to make that, here's the secret. You have the recipe. The recipes are in the description in the other shows. But the secret is when you put the brown sugar, cinnamon, and sugar. I use sugar in the raw instead of brown sugar, and it worked well with mine, but you can use brown sugar as well. But when I did the glass, the rim, I did honey on the rim. Shh, don't tell anybody. It's my secret. Honey on the rim, just a little, because you get that little bit, and then you get the apple. And try the frozen slushy version. And for those with kids, don't forget spider cider. Try doing the just a little something. Do the little black spider rings, wash them off real good, put them in the ice cubes, freeze them. Give them a cinnamon stick and an apple in there. They'll feel like they've got their little drink too. So I don't know if they're listening to the story for Cabin 22, but we are on to part 5. Oh, we're already on part 5 for Monday. I hope you guys are enjoying it. I'm having a blast. Part 6. If anybody would like to come in, Laura's going to come in and join me for part 6, so we can stop a little bit halfway through, talk about the characters and things like that. It'll be fun. For part 6 is actually a 4-hour chapter, so we're doing 2 nights, first half, and then the final stand at the end. So we're doing all that. We've got our bacon caramel popcorn. We got each other. What could go wrong? So, look at all of Bill's books. I'm going to put them up one more time for you because I love my Bill. He's such a sweetie. I went to a Paracon. Thank you, Jackie. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. There's Dark Force, The Connection. That's a really good one, too. And like he said, he will give you these for free. Just, he doesn't want anybody to be a financial burden. He wants you to have the message. Okay, the Victory. This one's good too. Stranger Than Fiction. He'll tell you all about UFOs and aliens. This is just a scene from the film from A Haunted, and Delivered is also a great one. Love it, absolutely love it. So that's my Bill. I kept telling you guys. I tell you the truth. I tell you, listen, you call it Bill, and he says, so you tell him Cisco say, he's going to listen, because he knows that I vetted and everything else. I'm like, okay, this one needs you, Bill, yep. So, he's an amazing man. He's got a very supportive family. He goes, of his own expense, he goes all over the place to pull people literally pull them out of hell. Absolutely pull them out of hell. So I'm at this Paracon, and there's seminars. If you've never been to one, they'll have seminars, and they'll say, like, from 12 to 1, we've got this guy giving a talk, and this guy over here, and this, this person, this woman over here. And then they'll have a panel sometimes. So they had this demonologist panel, and they were all talking about, there was a couple of people there that were on TV. You'd know them if I said them, so I'm not going to say them. And then there was like a couple other ones, and they were giving their personal stories of how they'd gotten to be where they were, right? And I'd say that probably 90% of the panel that had gone through and become an exorcist or a demonologist or a spiritual warrior had been possessed, or had someone in the family that had been possessed. Literally. And when they gave their talk, out of the 6 people that gave the talk that had happened to, all 4 of them have been pulled out by Bill Bean. How about that? And that was just like off the top of, that wasn't set up. That just happened. That's how many people he's pulled out. And then gone in there and said, now what are you going to do? Are you going to be a person that fights for this? Or are you going to let it take you over again? Like we said, even with ghosts, some people call them back just by their deeds, or by, following the same things that got them there in the first place, or whatever. Yeah. So, Bill is a big old bear. His conviction it knows no bounds. His faith is just, and that's what I mean when I say that's what we got to have now, I don't know where Aunt Edna is, but with her tsunami of power, of positive power, and all of us putting it out there that night, we almost knocked the poor medium off the chair. But that was fantastic. And the fact that she said that she saw no negativity whatsoever, as far as negative vibes coming off of anybody in the chat. Because she said that she's been on shows where that completely blocked her, and she couldn't do anything because it was a skeptic that was a little more, sour than another or something. I don't know, but that was the best thing I could ever hear. We have some wonderful people here in chat, and I really wanted to bring Bill into tonight. That kind of like just extends this whole week. Because everything that we're doing is trying to give you the power back. Don't let them have any of that. You have the power over you. What you think, what you do, how you act, how you carry yourself. what you do in life. Don't let anybody tell you can't. Sometimes under crisis, a lot of people are going through that right now, a lot of crisis. And yes, he is like a real life John Constantine. He is. He is. And I'm so glad and so proud to call him my friend, But, we think that in life. We think that, others have the power because, we might be going through a bad job and I just can't work here. Let me tell you something. You're talking to somebody that 25 years ago pulled both my kids out, 3rd grade and 5th grade. Get your book bag. We're going home. They're teaching you lies here. I'm going to take you home and homeschool you. And then I figured out how to do it. And then we did it. And then I did. I wasn't able to go to work as much. I had to cut my work back. We had to go without things. I had to drive around in a POS car, But I had number 1 kids, And now I have men who hold the doors open for people, who are compassionate and care about people, and how they act and being decent human beings in this world. So, and smart, and they know when they're being lied to, and they know to question this and question that, and then research it for themselves and figure out, make up their own minds. So, don't tell me it's hard. Your kids are the most precious things you have, Don't let somebody else raise your kids and spoil their minds. Find a way. Find somebody in your community that's doing the same thing. Get together, and while you're at work, they can teach them science or crafts or art, or take them to the baseball field, or, find somebody who knows math. I had to do it. I couldn't do that math. Especially now. New math. What the hell was that? Try to take cursive out of school. Come on, man. Y'all seen this stuff happening years ago. They have been chipping away, just like Bill said, since the 50s. I think it was before that. Okay? So, the only way to fight back is to take back control of yourself, your children, your life, your heart, and for the love of God, and I mean that, your soul. Your soul. You don't let anybody take that. That's yours. That's eternity, baby. So there you go. I love y'all. Thank you for sticking with me tonight. Sorry to have this in the middle of the week, but that's when I could get Bill, and I didn't want you to miss it. So thank you so much. I love you all. Love conquers all. God wins. Light puts out the darkness. And I'm so very grateful to have all of you here. And I will see you back on Sunday. We have Peter Coe, and he's funny, and he's wonderful with the tarot cards, and he's great on the paranormal. We had lovely long talks about how a lot of this stuff is all connected, and we'll see if we can't get him to pull some cards for you guys, and some great advice and some great talk, spooky talk, great. And then we've got Monday Madness with Steve Stockton, and I believe Bigfoot Anon Connor is coming on to talk about portals and Bigfoots and little feets, and I don't know, maybe even the big lipped one. Remember this one? The big old lip? I don't know. But we'll see. Connor's got something up his sleeve, or he's got ants in his pants. One of the two. But he's really excited about it, and I can't wait to hear about it. So he's going to be on with me and Steve on Monday Madness. It might really be madness. And then we're going to do part 5 of Cabin 22. So there you go. How about that? All right? And I don't know what's coming after that. I'm surprised I know what's happening tomorrow. But I know I love you all. And don't be fooled by this crazy, evil crap that they keep throwing in our faces. If it feels wrong, it probably is. Shut it off and watch the Waltons or something. John Boy gets into some real tight spots. He'd be very entertaining. So I love you. Good night. And maybe I need a drag. Thank you so much. And how amazing was that? That was the fastest hour ever. And love you so much. And I'll see you on Sunday at 8 o'clock. Please hit that like. Please share it if you can. Thank you, Jackie and Patriot, Laura, Roseworthy, Sue, everybody that was in here tonight. Gray Wolf, I love you, love you, love you all. And I'm sorry I didn't get to spend a lot of time talking to you guys in the beginning. That's why I stayed a little bit, but I knew I only had him for an hour, and I knew you'd want to hear Bill over my rattling. Good night. See you Sunday, all.